In Blue Lock, the central philosophy challenges the conventional understanding of football by simplifying it to its core essence. The ultimate objective of the sport is to score more goals than your opponent. Everything else, defensive structure, midfield organization, and tactics, are all ideas that serve this singular purpose. Traditional football culture built teams by dividing roles: defenders, midfielders, and forwards. But Blue Lock flipped this logic and asked for a radical question. What instead of crafting specialized players, we train everyone to be a striker first? What if the foundation of a player's identity wasn't shaped by a role, but by unrelenting drive to seek glory, score goals, and decide the outcome of matches? This is not reckless anarchy, it's purposeful evolution. By forcing players with big egos to compete with each other in extreme high-stakes conditions, where survival depends on one's ability to change and adapt to the game, Blue Lock creates footballers who are forged by pressure and honed through failure. They are taught to be selfish, to chase individual glory, but through that self-centered pursuit, they end up more complete. Every player begins as a striker, but through adaptation, they grow into something more dangerous. Total footballers, multidimensional, versatile, and hyper-aware athletes who carry the striker's instincts wherever they play on the pitch. When Blue Lock's 11 took the field against the under-20 team, this ideology was put to the ultimate test. Their starting lineup was composed entirely of players who were natural strikers, not a single traditional defender, midfielder, or goalkeeper among them. On paper, it appeared like a tactical suicide. How could they possibly hold their own against a well-balanced team that had specialists in every area on the field? But what looked like madness was in fact the peak of Ego Jinpachi's grand design. While chasing his ultimate striker, he realized he would create monsters in every position. In the process, these were not just strikers anymore. They were footballers who had evolved through ego, who had brought that relentless, goal-oriented mindset into every role they assumed. Isagi Yuichi, our protagonist and the heart of the Blue Lock team, he evolved into a second striker, not someone who needs to dominate the 18-yard box or dribble past defenders, but a player whose strength lies to reading the flow of the game and support Rin. His spatial awareness is nearly supernatural. He can see possibilities before they emerge, positioning himself where the ball will be, not where it is right now. This ability makes him the ultimate support player, one who controls the rhythm of the attacks, who feed off chaos and rebounds, and who always appear when it matters the most. Take Gamamaru, the team's makeshift goalkeeper. He was never trained to guard the net, but his freakish reactions and spring-loaded reflexes made him a natural fit. More importantly, as a striker, he could think like one. He understood shooting angles, body feints, and striker psychology. That striker's instinct didn't disappear when he put on the gloves. It transferred to uncanny ability to anticipate and react. He wasn't just reacting to shots, he was reading plays, cutting off players' intentions before they could finish forming. Players like Ario, Nico, and Rio, who found themselves as defenders despite their striker's origin. Instead of being a liability, they became a revelation. Ario's incredible height, physical presence, and athleticism made him a natural wall at the back. Nico, like Isagi, one of the first players to demonstrate an ability to read the field and predict plays, even if his vision lagged behind Isagi's. That cerebral quality made him suited for a role that demanded anticipation, positioning, and reading opponents, abilities that are the core of central back role. And Rio used his ability for perfect passing and evolved his chameleon style to copy plays and use them together to anticipate, win possessions, and set up quick counterattacks. Every single player of the Blue Lock team shined in his new position, but what really made them all effective was their mindset. They still think like strikers. They know what attackers want, what movement they will make, and what weaknesses they will try to exploit. This gives them defensive edges that goes beyond just anticipation, but through understanding. They're not guessing what strikers will do. They know what they themselves would have done in the same position. This is the genius of Blue Lock. By building every player on the foundation of ego and goal-scoring instinct, it creates a team where no position is static and no player is predictable. Defenders attack the ball like they're trying to finish it. Midfielders set up plays like master manipulators. Even the goalkeeper hunts moments. The idea is not to discard structure entirely, but to infuse every position with ego. The game is not divided between attackers and defenders anymore. It's united by one shared purpose, to control the outcome through goals. But perhaps the most telling sign of Blue Lock's philosophy is that its influence didn't stop with its own team. Over the course of the match, the under-20 team itself began to change. They represented the old system, by-the-book structure of traditional roles and tactical balance. But when faced with the relentless pressure and unpredictability of the Blue Lock team, they started to evolve too. This transformation was most clearly seen in Oliver, the under-20 captain and central defender. He began the match as a calm major defender, calculating, composed, and positionally perfect. But under the weight of Blue Lock's intensity, he began to shift. He started stepping out of the backline more aggressively, anticipating not just passes, but intentions. His clearances became launching pads for counterattacks. He began to think like a striker, not just in terms of positioning, but in terms of opportunities. Every moment became a chance not to stop a goal, but to create one immediately after. The under-20 players followed suit. They abandoned structure and started taking more risks. They made direct runs, took bolder shots, tried sharper passes. They started seeking individual moments of impact, drawn in by the gravitational pull of the Blue Lock's players' ego. Being on the same field as Blue Lock requires you to level up or be erased. In this way, Ego's ideology was proven, not just by the performance of his own players, but how infectious it was. It spread through the match like wildfire, igniting ambition in everyone it touched. And this is what makes Blue Lock so beautiful. The program didn't simply create a new team, it changed the system. It proved that ego, often seen as a selfish or corrosive element in team sport, can be transformative when harnessed correctly. That a team built around strikers, trained to adapt, to think independently, to chase goal at all costs, can become more balanced, more versatile, and more dangerous than a traditionally structured side. More than that, it proves that ego is contagious, that the presence of even one player hungry enough to shape destiny can pull everyone else into their orbit, raising the level of the entire field. Blue Lock didn't just prepare players to score, it taught them to see the whole game as a sequence of chances waiting to be taken on, in offense and defense. And in doing so, it didn't just redefine what a striker is, it redefined what a team can become.